as I said before, I am just talking on behalf of the engineers. I am not the English teacher, I am not English instructor. What I have lived in my previous career, so just I am talking about all my stories to you. That in order to take the curtain from your eyes. So, maybe you have faced, maybe not, but you are going to face with the native speakers. And actually, I have put this photo not to frighten you, because not all the native speakers look like this. I have used these photos just in a figurative meaning, right? But I have been in its place for several times, really. Maybe more horrible than this cat. Scary. So, just why is that for? Because the native speaker's speech is really quick and is incomprehensible. It's really hard to catch each word from their speech and to understand them. And at the same time, you have to answer their question as well in time, because they are so impatient to wait for your answer. If just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, okay, they are going to say, okay, please leave the room and close the door. We are going to call you later. You have to, you have to get accustomed to this process from now. I want to just tell you a short story which I lived in my previous years. When I was in the third year of the university, the other guys from the State Royal Academy here. Okay, here. And in my year, it was 2009, there was such a company which is called the ETCC. Maybe you are aware of this company. The ETCC company declared a scholarship program in our university. And all the interviewers were the native speakers in this examination. And I was a guy from the tower engineering department, was invited for the interview for the scholarship program. And cut a long story short, when I entered the room, I thought that all the guys in the room are the native speakers with different hairstyle, with different smiles, and I really got confused because that was the first time when I saw the native speaker, and I had to communicate with them in order to be successful in the interview processes. And in the inception of the interview, everything was okay. What's your name? My name's blah. Where are you from? I am from blah. All the ordinary question was great for me because I was answering the questions clearly, smoothly, powerfully, automatically. So I said that, okay, I passed the examination and got this scholarship program. But suddenly the guy, the interviewer, asked me such question. In which stream would you like to work? I said, what? Could you please repeat again? In which stream would you like to work? I said, okay, stream. I knew the meaning of the stream, what the stream is. Stream is the synonym of the stream. In other words, it's a flow, it's a river, and all these words came to my mind. The stream which I saw at this time, that, okay, in which stream would you like to work? But I have to answer this question, in which stream I would like to work. I saw that, okay, then the streams in my region, in Şamaxı side is okay, maybe in Somali side is better, but different things come to my mind. In which stream would you like to work? If I'm going to work in this stream, what am I going to do there? I'm going to be a fisher or a swimmer? Why they are asking me this question in the interview processes? So guys, this was me in that time, and this was my imagination during the question. But anyway, I had to answer the question. I cannot leave the question unanswered. You have to answer the question. I said that, guys, I'm so sorry, but I am from the power engineering department. I am the electrical engineer. Why are you asking me in which stream would you like to work? I power station or any company, that was so okay for me. And suddenly just I wanted to show myself so intelligent and ask them another question that, yeah, maybe you mean that this stream power station over this stream, you mean this? They laughed at me a little bit and they skipped the question. Actually, the same day I won the competition, I was awarded with the scholarship program, but this question was stuck into my brain. I had to look for the answer, what the stream is, because the question was given me and I couldn't answer this question. I just talked nonsense about this question. So I have to learn the answer of this question, what the stream is in oil and gas industry. And it is related with the technical English, right? I am coming to the technical English. In the general English, I was able to answer all the questions correctly, clearly. That was okay, that was perfect. But technically, I wasn't ready to answer the questions. So after searching the meaning of this question, that what this stream is in oil and gas industry, and finally I figure out that the streams are divided into three groups in oil and gas industry, which is called downstream, midstream, and upstream. That all are related with the technical English. Generally, I am okay to answer any question, but technically, I didn't know how to answer this question. And the same day, I made a decision that I have to learn the English technically as well, because that's my weakness. That's the weak side which I have to upgrade, which I have to improve myself technically as well. So after learning that downstream, which is about the refinery processes, crude oil, etc., and the midstream is the transportation of oil and natural gas, and upstream exploration, production, and etc. So these are the conceptions which are used in oil and gas industry. It is just one simple example for you. So by the way, my work experience is based on the upstream. I have worked the offshore. Now I'm onshore. But after this question, I learned all these meanings as well. Just before going on the next slides, who is not afraid of interviews? Just let's be sincere. In the audience, if you are not afraid of the interviews, please raise your hand. If the interviews are okay for you.
Depends the language. Depends the language.
Not Mozambique, just English.
Just English. English is difficult.
Yeah, okay. After SMR is the technical English. Okay. Okay, who is afraid of? You are not afraid of. You are afraid?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
Stand, please. Let's have an interview. Please knock the door. Yeah, you can knock this door. Okay. Come in, please. Come in, please. Hello. Who are you? Nice to meet you. Okay, that's a great to see you there. Oh, Namin. How are you doing? Okay, that's great. I really was amazed with your CV by reading it. I made a decision that you are a right candidate for our campus. So that's why our HR invited you for the interview. Now I would like to have a little bit conversation with you. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm the Bob. I'm the head of the engineering department in this campus. I'll lead all the works from engineering point of view. So so I would like to see you in my team as well. But first of all, I'd like to hear from you. Who you are, what's your educational background, and what's your work experience. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Nana Ismailova. I study at Kafkas University as a civil engineering faculty. Now I'm the first year.
Yes, freshman. You're a
Yes,
freshman.
freshman, but I still have the CB2, and thank you very much for accepting me.
Okay.
And
I just have accepted your CV, not you. I accept you after the results of the interview.
I hope you also accept me.
Okay, that you.
Okay. And I want to work with your company because I have a lot of aims, and I think that your company is very appropriate for me for achieving my aims.
What do you know about our company?
I read all of
What's the name of our company?
technical
Engineering training and consulting.
Yes.
That's great. That's great.
Okay.
What do you know about our company?
I just know that your company just provide the engineers for getting the good jobs
That's
and
great.
consulting and give the seminars and trainings, technical trainings. And also there is the technical and general English courses.
Okay.
But I'm civil engineering, I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of engineering, doesn't matter.
For example, I can assemble the course for you. And
That's
then you
great.
can work in this.
And how do you see, how are you going to be able to contribute to our company after joining if we hire you?
If you hire me, I can, what can I say, give my all knowledge and my all experience to your company, and it will be very beneficial for both you and me.
Okay,
And we can build very big buildings for your company.
that's great. That's great. Sandra, please take into account. We are going to hire this lady after Sandra. So, okay, that's great. But what's your expectation from us?
My expectation is let me to reach my goals. For example, I wanted to open my own company.
Okay.
And first, I should get great experience.
If you are going to open your company, why are you doing here?
I need experience. And this
Then you are going to abuse us.
No.
After abusing us, you are going to open your own company, right? That's the wrong answer. Never give this answer in the interview processes. I'm going to learn from you and
Yes,
open
yes,
my own company.
Okay. I should
Never do
hide
that.
this.
Never do
Okay,
that.
I'm not. I need your company,
Okay, thank you.
and you need me.
Yeah, we will grow. You need. We will never be able to find
Yes.
you somewhere. Okay, what's your salary expectation?
My salary expectation is.
How about you? Okay, so.
Starting with the 500 maybe.
Okay, that's great. So,
But for the start.
thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for your participation. That was a really great pleasure for me to have an interview with you. So we are going to get back to you later, okay?
I hope.
Okay.
Okay.
See you later. See you, bye. Please close the door, please.
You can't do it.
Okay, thank you.
I hope.
Okay, my next slide is that fire speaking rules in English language that you have to know when you start learning English. Because I did the same things when I started to learn this language, 4 years ago. First of all, you don't have to study grammar too much. Just my recommendation, my advice for you. When you learn Spanish, when you learn German, it doesn't matter. When you learn English, it doesn't matter. Just don't get too much stuck on grammar. You can, how to say, you can know a little bit grammatical rules. The correct sentence order, for example, subject comes first, then comes verb, or comes tense first, etc. Just know the basic grammatical rules. Then that's it, I think. For example, when you learn grammar a lot, when you make sentence, you try to follow this grammatical rule every time, and you say, oh, one time later you get tired and you say, okay, English is not for me, or etc., or Russian is not for me because of the grammar. I don't know Russian, frankly speaking. I cannot speak in Russian because I put too much importance in grammar in Russian language, because my parents always say that try to speak grammatically in Russian, and every time I get exhausted and every time I stop learning Russian language. But when I was learning English, it wasn't like this. English grammatical rules, are fairly easy than Russian. Then, learn and study phrases. Which phrases do you know in English language? Who can say? You say. Yes. Your name? Yes, you. No. Which phrases do you know in English language?
I do not remember now. You mean idioms or what?
No, just phrases. For example, go by car. This is phrase.
By the way.
By the way. Yes.
Combination of the words.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yes, exactly. There are two accents in English language: American accent and British accent. And British accent. Yes. Which one would you like to talk? American accent. You?
American.
American. No, you. Definitely. Yes. Which accent would you like to talk in? Both of them. But more.
Both of them means
Yes. Mixture, yes. Okay, I say British. Who will raise their hand? British for British accent, raise your hand. This the few people.
Actually, hearing British accent it's good, but speaking it's so hard.
So hard. What about American accent? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like American accent, but British accent I like, but I
You don't understand.
Don't disappoint too much, please.
But I think British English is most okay.
No. Okay, what about American accent? Who will raise their hand for American accent? Some guys didn't understand my question actually. Okay, American accent için kim elini kaldırır? British too? Okay, you guy, what's your name?
My name is
No, not you. In the third line, the right side.
Me, third line.
No, after you. Yes, you. No. You, yes. Yes, you. What is your name?
My name is Ilham.
Ilham. Okay, you didn't understand my question actually.
Yes.
Because you didn't raise your hand. American or British accent?
American accent.
American accent. Okay, you didn't listen to me?
Yes, okay.
Okay, it's okay now. Can you, Ilham, pronounce the differences? How can you pronounce, for example, really in American English?
Really.
Really. Okay? We enlarge the pronunciation, really, in American or American.
Really.
But in British?
Really.
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 It's really easy to say, but it's really easy in American to say. In American it's like really, in British it's like really.
Is this grammar or only speak? For
Yes, this is the pronunciation differences.
I know.
For example, we say especially, but in British accent we say especially. Or say it's very important in American. In British we say it's very important. Just shorten. Ability in American, in British ability. Better.
Better.
British say
Better.
it is better than the previous one. But Americans say
Better.
it is better than differences. Yes. Butter in British, butter in American.
Like water.
Okay, last slide of me. Jennifer Host say the British accent makes everyone sound smarter, and there is not anything sexier than a perfectly executed British one-liner. Okay, it means that British accent is the best, I think so. I have to support my idea at the end.
For girls.
Yeah,
Because
for girls.
I think British English is more political language.
Yes, exactly. American language emerged before, after British. The history of British language, British English, dates back to thousands or even millions years ago.
And when you speak British English, you look like a gentleman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a gentleman in New York, yes. You have heard this video. Song. I'm sorry. Okay, now this is the end of my seminar, actually, not seminar conversation. It was. And now I'm going to introduce you Farhat Hacıyev in order to deliver a seminar on the Technical English course program. Just applaud him and let's. Thank you so much.
Okay, my name is Farhat Hacıyev, and I'm glad to see all of you here today. And welcome to our seminar. Yes, first of all, I want to tell you about myself. My name is Farhat Hacıyev, and I've been engaged in teaching English language for nearly 10 years. Yes, and one of the areas that I'm specialized in is technical English. That is, to say it more exactly, English for oil and gas. Yes, and today I'm going to talk about, on my own behalf, giving you information about the course that I'm going to conduct. Yes, Mr. Hassanov, he told you about the, let's say, difference between general English and technical English. Yes, I think that he gave enough information about it, and I'm going to give my own contribution to this concept. Yes, first of all, I'd like to say that this course is appropriate for pre-intermediate, at least elementary use of English. Actually, this is for elementary. The minimum level for this course, for starting this course, is elementary level. But we were a little bit hesitant to tell you about that because really in Baku, here in Baku, people misunderstand this concept of levels. Most of the time when they say they're pre-intermediate, we found out at the end that they're really elementary, not pre-intermediate. Even there were people who wanted to study TOEFL, but at the end I offered them to study at elementary level of English because, and that's why we wrote here pre-intermediate level English, because if you claim that you're pre-intermediate, you'll be at maximum elementary level, and that is what is required for our course. But when we say pre-intermediate level, most people misunderstand it. How? Because nowadays here, the biggest mistake that many teachers make here in Baku, and many language courses, many language schools make here in Baku, even universities, they don't check students or applicants listening, speaking, or some other, let's say, skills. They only check when they try to evaluate the applicant's level. They just take into consideration only grammar and vocabulary, and maybe a little bit reading. But I would say that that is totally wrong, because most of the time here in Baku, we're taught only grammar and vocabulary in school and at university as well. And that's why there are very few people who have problem with this in vocabulary and grammar. But what they really have problem is speaking and listening. Because we have really very little opportunity to communicate with native speakers. And that's why we have problem there. And that, if we check you only, that in terms of grammar and vocabulary, you'll probably be intermediate. But when it comes to listening and speaking, you'll be elementary or even low. This is a narrow kind of English. I mean, this narrows English and actually limits English into only oil and gas. And that's why it doesn't take so long. It takes only 4 months. It consists of only 2 levels. As you should already know English at pre-intermediate level, we're not going to bother about the alphabet or I don't know how to pronounce some several sounds and stuff. We're not going to bother about that. You'll just go directly into English. and that's why it will take only 2 levels, level A and level B. So each level lasts for 2 months. That is 15 lessons and plus 1 test. So you'll have 15 lessons every month. 1 month means 4 weeks. 15 lessons, and after 15 lessons, you'll finish 1 level. That is 2 months, and after that you'll take a test in order to shift to the next level. And as it consists of only 2 levels, the overall course will last only 4 months. 4 months, and the total number of lessons will be 30 lessons, and in each lesson there will be, 1 topic will be targeted. So I've taught this kind of English many times. I have about 5 years of experience of teaching such kind of English, not general. And I've seen a lot of people who work in this industry, and even students who are intending to work in this industry, and even people who are already managers in companies. They say that, you know, sometimes we're so concerned about, or we're so into the practical side of this work. I mean, they work all the time in their onshore, offshore company and so. They don't really think about the theoretical point of view, and that's why they sometimes learn this industry, you know, practically, and that's why they don't know the theoretical side of it. Sometimes I've even seen people who have worked in oil and gas industry for several years, and they still don't know this classification in oil and gas industry, like upstream, midstream, downstream. They say that this is the first time we're learning about it. They said, and that's why it's also very good for even specialists to, you know, to sort out mess in their head. And that's why it targets a different topic every time. In every lesson, we'll target 1 different topic. And this course will be designed like this. In every lesson, we'll do grammar, vocabulary, reading, listening, speaking, and writing. In every lesson. So it's not like today we do only listening, and next time we'll do only reading. You'll be able to shift from level A to level B only if you succeed in test A. So you finish 1 level, and then you take test A, and then if you are successful in this test, you can move to the next level. And after you pass test B, you successfully complete the course. A common misunderstanding about the purpose. Oh, this is really something that causes problem for many people. I worked in one company, and you know, they weren't as professional in their job as Mr. Hassan, and that's why it caused a really big problem. I didn't have opportunity to meet every individual 1 by 1. And actually, it's not my job, and I don't have time for that. And that's why the management should have done that. But unfortunately, they weren't very professional in this field. Actually, in checking people's knowledge, because they didn't speak English themselves. It caused a lot of misunderstanding. They couldn't explain the purpose of the course. And that's why they were expecting something, and after they start the course, they see there's something different, and they were really disappointed. And I was disappointed too, because of this misunderstanding. And that's why we're now explaining some misunderstanding to you, and this is really good chat for you. The course does not intend to educate non-specialists so that they could have a clue about this field. So if you studied law in university, or I don't know, economy at university, economics at university, or I don't know, linguistics or something else, and now you want to become, you know, a specialist in oil and gas industry, this course is not for you.